our next lesson. I believe we're on lesson 13. Today we're going to be adding a you win screen, and we're also going to be adding an obstacle that will allow our player to get hurt. So the first thing, I want to do a little bit of maintenance. I want to drag our player, I want to drag it into prefabs. In case we ever accidentally delete this player, we can always drag him back out. He's the most important part right now, and we've added a lot to him, so it's time to make him a prefab. And then I want to go into our scenes, and I'm going to go over to our game over scene. And this load scene button, we're going to be using this. It's a really useful thing, so we're just going to drag it into prefabs. So at the press of a button, we can load any scene on any level. So I'm going to go back into level 1. And the first thing I want to do is I want to create some spikes, a little obstacle for our player to deal with. So to do that, I'm going to drag our spikes big thing into here. Now these are big spikes. These are too big. So I want to do several things. I want to go to scale. I'll put it at 0.2 on both sides. So it creates this little set of spikes here. And I'm going to drag this down. Right now you see it's in front of the grass, which could be okay, but I think it looks better behind. So I'm going to put it right below the grass line here. And then I'm going to go to the order and layer and make it -100. So it appears behind this. And then I'm going to go to add component, and I'm going to add a box collider 2D. Now this collider is way too big. If someone touches right here or right here and they die from the spikes, they are going to be angry. Because as we all know, gamers have fantastic temperaments. So what we want to do, I'm going to drag this up here to the bottom. I'm going to drag this inside the spike a little bit, and even the top of the spike, I'm going to drag it inside there. So we always want to err in favor of the player, as generally a good game design tip, because we want our players to have fun, right? So this will actually do two things. First, though they won't feel cheated by touching the air above the spikes and dying. And secondly, we'll have a situation where they'll get right here and bounce out at the last second, and that'll be kind of a heart racing moment. They'll really feel like, wow, I'm a skilled player. I came so close to death. It's a good tactic that we like to use. And then we want to make this a trigger. So in the inspector box collider, we want to click is trigger. And remember before we made a death marker. Anything that touches it will kill the player. So I'm going to go to inspector tags and put this as a death marker. This is what I'm talking about being versatile. If we plan ahead, things get easier later. We don't need any additional code because we already coded efficiently. I'm going to hit Control and S to save this. I'm going to click over in the hierarchy on spikes big. I'm going to name it obstacle _ spikes. And then I'm going to drag this into our prefabs because we're probably going to want to use a bunch of these. And I'll put some more here. Boop. Boop. Maybe one right here. And if you've been playing with your level, you can go ahead and put them wherever you think. You're also free to resize this to make it as big as you'd like. Maybe you have some places that are like this, some places that have a little bit taller spikes, etc. You can do whatever you'd like, make it look like you'd like it. And now, this is all well and good. This is pretty nice. So the next thing I want to do is hit Control and S to save. If you want to play test, you can. In fact, I'll do that right now. Oh no. Yes. Okay. That's good. So the next thing we want to do is our title screen. So I'm going to go to Scenes. I'm going to go ahead and double click on You Win. I'm going to hit Control and D. And now the You Win 1, make sure it has the 1. We're going to press F2. And we're going to name it Title Screen. And then I'm going to double click to make sure title screen over here is correct. Now, we can go ahead, and the first thing I want to do is I'm going to change my BGM to a different BGM. So we're going to go to the BGM Inspector, Audio Source, Audio Clip, and right now it's BGM 1. I'm going to change it to BGM 2. And then the speed, I'm going to keep it at just 1. The pitch, yeah, I'm going to keep it at just 1. Then I'm going to click on our game over text, and I'm going to name it the name of the game, whatever you'd like. You can name it Getting Froggy, Frogmageddon, whatever you'd like. I've been going with Runny Jumps. I find that to be a small cute name. And I'm going to change it to green because we're a frog. A dark frog green. I kind of like that. That looks pretty good. And if you want to have some type of additional effect, of course you can import other images, etc. But a neat text effect is click on the game over text here. I'm going to hit Control D, so I have another one. And I'm going to move this. I'm going to press W. I'm going to move this up slightly. And let's make this black. Now we get kind of a 3D effect there. I like that. So now that we have that, we need to be able to move to our level 1. So we're going to go into our prefabs, our load scene by button. We're going to drag that in here. And I'm going to change, level 1 is correct. So now whenever we press spacebar, we'll go to level 1. But we need to add, one thing I almost forgot. Shame on me. I added a new scene. What do I have to do? File, build settings, and add open scene. Now this one, the actual order is important because we're going to bring our title screen to the top. Because remember, whenever you build the actual game, so you distribute to your customers, your friends, etc., the first scene that will load is the first one in the order. So we want it to be title screen. All right, with that finished, I'm going to go to scenes. I'm going to click on game over. I'm going to go to our load scene button, and we're going to type, instead of level 1, we're going to type in title screen. Go over to the UN, and save that. On our load scene, we're going to change it from level 1 to title screen. Mine already said title screen. That's because this is the second time I'm filming this. And with that done, we're going to have a completely working game. Sorry, I had 2 load scene buttons there. Sorry. Okay. Now with that done, All right. I will see you in the next one.